People deluded. Arsenal 2, Chelsea 0. And as you can see, I barely smile, but you can see me kind of holding this smile with it. I mean, well, we're a very bipolar team in Arsenal. We could very well lose to Cardiff next week. But in regards to today, tonight, the 19th of January, match of the day can get watched. We can go to sleep cool. Obviously, in the build-up to the game, I'll give the players credit because let's keep it true. We didn't. Nobody gave us a chance. You'll do very well to find someone that realistically, not no hindsight genius, that gave Arsenal a chance. That's not because we don't rate the players. That's because of the form and the sort of side we're playing. Chelsea have question marks, we know, but they're kind of in better form than us, sort of thing. So yeah, we know we've got something like 3 wins within the last 8. Or something like that. Chelsea's away form trumps us, and things like that. We know we're going against a side that has conceded dramatically less goals than us. They've only conceded 17, and we've conceded 32, for example. They're only 6 goals behind us in terms of scoring goals. So we know we're going against a side which is doing all right statistically, defensively, even though question marks can be asked. And we need to win today. Top 4 is a myth, even with the 3 points today in hindsight. Top 4 is a myth, but if nothing more, walk away with the fans with their heads held high. I accepted a loss. I wanted us to play with some commitment and passion and things like that. And I saw that Unai Emery named a very attacking lineup. I must admit, we know Ozil wasn't going to start. Bit of a shock I didn't see Iwobi. I told you I wanted Ramsey to start as well, and this is what we needed to do. Press that Chelsea back four, especially. First 15 goal to us. The whole game we was at it. We'll get on to the end of the game in a bit, but we was really at it, man. We lined up in a 4-3-1-2 or of sorts, people, and I say that lightly. What I mean is, obviously, you saw 3 midfielders, and then you saw Ramsey actually dropping in and making it a fourth, where I am corrected. Guendouzi, Torreira, Xhaka, and obviously Ramsey, they were making it a 4 of sorts. And then, well, it was eventually 3 defensive mids or 3 midfielders of sorts with all their different capabilities. Then Ramsey was obviously helping to press with Aubameyang and Lacazette. And you saw that. I told you, look, we need to take inspiration from how Spurs beat them. How Dele Alli was on Jorginho. In fact, most sides that marked Jorginho out of that game, out of Chelsea's game, get a positive result. You saw Ramsey doing that. And when Ramsey wasn't, someone else was, and they were pressing very well. Lacazette and Aubameyang. Lacazette, lovely technical qualities from the start and working his socks off. You're seeing Aubameyang putting slide tackles in the box. I'm not going to lie to you lot, people. I was thinking, the initial thought was, please don't do that. Could be a pen. But we're having commitment. It's mad because we'll all get gassed and excited about this, but this is what you want to see as the bare minimum every week. Obviously, your performance levels will dip, but you want to see this as the bare minimum. We shouldn't really have to praise it, but we're rolling with this. We've started fast. We're not letting Kepa pick out any passes. We're marking the players that are like in Rudiger and Luiz out of possession, really on the ball. We're not letting them do their thing. That being said, Luiz played some good passes today, and Rudiger in the second half. Chelsea looked nervous. Aspilicueta looked nervous. Alonso looked nervous. The whole team looked nervous from the start. And it was nice to see us, within the first 10, 15, get 4 corners. We're having efforts. Bellerin's going forward. Colas don't need a license to go forward. They'll be told to go forward. We're keeping them penned back. Like I said, we're getting corners. We're getting free kicks, and we're keeping the pressure. We're putting it in. And what became evidently clear for me within the first 15, people, is Chelsea kind of shagged themselves. I mean, Arsenal, you know, if you play with a threat or a focal point or an out-and-out striker, you can stress us. You've seen Ings, you've seen Long, you've seen Austin, you've seen Glenn Murray. You've seen many examples this season. If you play with a focal point, especially because our centre-halves are typically wide of each other, question marks can be asked. Hazard being a false 9, obviously he's going to get frustrated on the ball and he's going to drop deep. That helped us get further up the pitch. So Chelsea kind of played into our hands to a degree, in my opinion, with that. Obviously as well, I think Chelsea set off our centre-halves way too easily. In the same way we were pressing and we were inspired, and credit to the fans. They allowed Leno and the centre-halves way too much time. You've seen Xhaka, I feel Xhaka took a while to get going, but once he did, he was different level for me. They're allowing too much time. It was an enjoyable game. To be honest with you, we should have had about 3 goals early on. Where did I can't remember the minutes, but ironically, Koscielny scored, but Koscielny had a very good header, saved by Kepa. He could have probably done better with it. Aubameyang was set through in the first 5 minutes or something by Lacazette, and he missed a tap-in. Lacazette, if I remember correctly, had an effort of his own. So we're cutting them open within the first 10, 15 minutes. We're having 3 definite goal-scoring opportunities. We're playing with confidence. We're showing bravery. For me as well, we're putting crosses in there, because Chelsea can't really put crosses in there because they're playing with Hazard, again playing to our strengths, because one of Arsenal's strengths is dealing with stuff in the air and runners and things like that. We're asking them question marks, we're getting corners and all of these things, but you're just feeling we need a goal. and it's delivered within 15 minutes. What was it, the 14th or 15th minute? Forgive me for not getting exactly right. It's a short corner, Torreira and their man involved. It's actually a poor cross from Bellerin, and commiseration. Sadly, Bellerin might be out for the whole season. That's just me speculating. It didn't look good. Hopefully he's cool. Bellerin technically gets an assist, but it's all Lacazette. Wonderful strength to shield the ball, wonderful technical ability. Maybe Kepa could have done better, but that's for Chelsea fans. Lacazette smashes it into the box, and I felt smashes it into the top corner. Sorry, and it's 1-0. And I felt him in particular, he looked up for it today. He's a big game player, and he's someone I've got a lot of time for. As you guys know, I'm a big fan of his. It's 1-0, and we're laughing at this point because Arsenal, you didn't think this would be in this position and or have this opportunity. Only criticisms that I can have, and that's just me being cynical, is that I did see on one occasion Mustafi's playing people on side in the opening exchanges, and Kohler did it as well. So maybe we just, obviously while the game's going on, I'm just thinking, okay, we need to be aware of our line. We really need to be aware of our line and push up together. And probably another criticism, it's not even a criticism, we clearly play to flood the midfield. We know Chelsea are a good possession side and we can be afforded luxuries. We flooded the midfield, we were very compact in terms of being narrow, and we did well. But one consequence is that a natural consequence is you do leave a lot of space down the sides. And William was doing alright on the left hand side. They were getting in patches on the right hand side. They weren't really troubling us, but it was just something to think about. But it's 1-0. We're doing nothing. You want us to build upon this, to be fair with you. Obviously, Koscielny, when I got his... I think Chelsea took about 20 minutes to wake up, because let's be fair to Chelsea. They did have some moments they threatened us. But can't remember the minute. Koscielny gets us the second that we needed just before half-time or so, whenever it was. It must have been the 39th minute or so. You all saw it. It's a lovely bit of delivery. I mean, both goals of our goals came from set pieces, and they're probably two cheap goals Chelsea have conceded. Not switched on. Can't remember if it was Torreira or whoever played the ball in. It gets cut out initially. Socrates, I know if you ask him, he'll say he meant that. It looks almost like something Ronaldinho would do, really, outside of the boot. Koscielny improvises with his shoulder. Jogger Benito, cage football goal. Cage football rules, to be fair, because I wasn't even sure if that would be allowed or disallowed, because I know his shoulder's legal. But yeah, good improvisation from him, and he should have scored his header shortly before that. But it's 2-0 at this point, and Koscielny deserves it. A lot of people, myself included, have been on Koscielny's back, and I still maintain that I don't believe he's of the level to take us forward. But credit where due, he was at it today. We know we needed to win. We needed 3 points. We needed a committed performance. He is the captain. He is one of the first that, myself included, we're going to ask questions of if you're not there. And I felt he scored today, but I don't even care about his goal. His goal's irrelevant. Blocks, ball playing, just damn right defending. It was Koscielny of old. It was Koscielny of that. You know, that 2014 Koscielny, whenever it was, there was a period no one could tell me nothing. Koscielny could walk into every team in Europe in a period of time. Not to say he was the best. It was a throwback. I still maintain that he can't take us forward, but Koscielny was at it today. Going into half-time, my only criticism can be is that we're not 3-4 up, because I'm happy with the boys, man to a man. Ramsey's doing what he needs to do. The two strikers are doing what they need to do. I'm actually, like I said, Xhaka took a while to get up, and to get going and get up for it, but it's a bit surprised he didn't get a couple of yellow, well, not a couple of yellow cards, he would have been off, but a couple of incidents I was thinking, how's he not got a yellow yet? Gendozi the same, but they were very cynical and stuff like that. Torreira, I don't necessarily feel Torreira was at his best today, but him not being at his best is still head and shoulders above a lot of players. They're at it. The fullbacks are playing with confidence. Socrates and Koscielny are leading by example. Leno's having nothing to do, but what I was impressed with him is his ball playing and what appeared on the TV to be a lot of communication. So I liked what I saw today. I really love how Socrates celebrates as well, man, when he tackles and everything's there. But half-time, there's not much. There's nothing really you can really ask for. Did I have any half-time notes? No, I didn't even have no half-time notes, people. This is it. Like, there's really nothing to say at half-time other than it's a better performance than we thought. Obviously, we can't not talk about the first half without talking about Aubameyang's effort in the 36th minute. If he managed to connect with that bicycle kick, it would have been a decent goal. Yeah, man. So, yeah, just apart from probably just being aware of if we're playing people on side or not, that's probably it. We're man to a man, we're doing our job, and Chelsea aren't really doing anything. Second half, that being said, I did feel our standards dropped ever so slightly, because naturally we're covering a lot of ground, we're putting in a lot of effort, and I will give credit to us. When that happened, normally you see a lot of mistakes creep into Arsenal's play. I feel positionally wise or tactically in terms of remaining in position, man to a man again, faultless. We weathered the storm, we were rigid. Obviously there were some nervy moments. Giroud probably should have scored in the second half. Hazard weren't at his best, but there was a couple dribbles where he was blazing over. We read our luck at times. Don't get it twisted. There was one scramble in the box I think Koscielny and Lacazette dealt with. But we was man to a man doing our thing. And we probably should have had three, to be honest. There was a couple of incidences where breaking. Kohler once, when he done very well to get past his man, he got to the byline. I'm thinking, just get your head up. Torreira's there. Or even, before he even cut it too wide, he could have even had an effort at goal. And obviously Bellerin had that as well, sadly, before he got injured, where he bombed down the right-hand side. He just needs to play the ball earlier and have a bit of quality on the ball, and it's 3-0. Because obviously we're winning 2-0, and I'm actually not scared of Chelsea because they're not really posing the sort of threat that really threatens Arsenal. We're rubbish. We're not at our previous best, and we're quite a rubbish side in that regards. But in terms of ball playing, if you want to try and ball play us, especially at home where we've got a decent record, I'm not really scared in that regard. But it is only 2-0. If they score one, it becomes nervy, and then it becomes a case of, do we sit back or and take the 2-1, or do we try and get a third, to which you could end up with the scoreline 2-2 sort of thing. So I think we rid our luck, to be honest, in the second half to a degree, but our quality was there. I think Chelsea looked like they gave up to a degree. They didn't really have any ideas. It was all us. I mean, all in all, people, what can I say? All I can do is say congratulations to the boys, man to a man. It was superb. You guys know I'm a fair man. I was on their backs against West Ham. I'm going to be praising them to high heavens today. Hopefully we don't lose to United or Cardiff. We're a bit of, again, bipolar team, so we don't know what we're getting in them games. But this is the minimum. Whether this can become the minimum in terms of output, application and work rate, I don't know, because really and truly we shouldn't be praising these players for this. This should be what's shown. But man to a man, faultless performance. The backs were against the wall. It was sink or swim. Personally, I feel top four can't be attained, but as long as you keep fighting, you never know. You needed to win today. You needed to show heart. And Aubameyang might not have scored, for example, but he put in work. Players that might not necessarily get the headlines, they put in work. Man to a man. I can't critique any of these footballers today. And like I said, it was a big game. No one gave us a chance, myself included. And we did it. We did what we had to do today. So man to a man, Koscielny, probably the man of the match for me between him and Lacazette. Probably give it to Koscielny because, like I said, I don't think he's at the level he can contribute positively to our, at least trying to get back to the top four and all of these sort of things. But today he stood up to be counted, man, and he led by example as he's done in previous years. Like I said, man to a man, Unai Emery, even with the tactics he's got spot on. I can't lie, I couldn't understand it on Nene's coming on. At the time when he was getting warmed up, I could see it. I was like, cool, you were probably going to bring on Ozil, but it's 2-0. We've already got 3 defenders. Ramsey's putting a lot of work. Even though Nene gets masked as this defensive mid when I don't think he's that necessarily defensive minded. I was thinking, alright, cool, we'll bring on an extra man in midfield, kind of give us a bit more stability. And then he will probably just play within himself, not try too much to stay in position. But like he was playing in a 10 role. So is it a message to Ozil? If he's still continuing the message to Ozil? And I must admit, people, a lot of you that follow me on Twitter, you saw me tweet before it happened. The funny thing, my tweet was something exactly along the lines of, what was it? It was something like, the funny and sad thing is that Lacazette is still going to get subbed, and you saw him get subbed. I don't know what Unai Emery's got against him. I see why he made the sub in terms of tactically, and I must admit, in regards to reacting to Bellerin's change and stuff like that, I was not only impressed with the players, but impressed with what I assume Unai Emery set out tactically. But all in all, people, again, faultless performance, probably the best performance I've seen of us all season, give or take, with obviously beating Spurs 4-2 and a point against Liverpool. And you just want to see this happen away from home because, again, not to put a sour note on it, because I'm not, because we need to live it up. I mean, we can watch Match of the Day. None of us Arsenal fans thought we were going to watch Match of the Day tonight. I lie, people, but we don't know what we're going to get against United. I hope, because of the context of the game, and forgive me if I'm wrong, we're at home, this is shown, but we don't know what we're going to get versus United on Friday. We don't know what we're going to get against Cardiff the following week or the Tuesday, forgive me if I'm wrong. It's nice to see, and if I'm these players, again, it's easier said than done, but this sort of application, work rate and all these things, this should become the minimum. They should be looking around each other and say, listen, this becomes the minimum. We'll feel good about ourselves now and things like that, but this should be the minimum. Whether that actually happens remains to be seen, but it's been a good weekend, man. I mean, at least for now, United don't overtake us. We've beat Chelsea. Our under-18s obviously beat Spurs. Mikel Antonio, he was talking a lot of was on social media about, oh, West Ham, let's go and win again today. We made the Arsenal manager dance. This is why you shouldn't talk before your team is played. Lost after making that tweet, idiotic man for that. It's been a good weekend, man. Obviously, we're still fifth. Like I said, I don't believe in us getting top four, but in terms of today, just performance and being able to go into a big game and leave with some pride, faultless performance today, because I was prepared to accept a defeat as long as the performance was there. If we played like this, but the scoreline was on the other foot and Chelsea won 2-0, I'd honestly, obviously, I'd probably, my tone would be a bit different, but yeah, I'd be cool with that. But like I said, people, man to a man, faultless performance. We move on to United on Friday, but once again, and I'm actually proud to say, Arsenal 2, Chelsea 0. They'll probably still finish ahead of us, but it is what it is. They lost based on today, and yeah, man, let me kick out. People, comment, subscribe, and do the rest if you wish. I'm out though.